great with they do the IV running this guy with spread. The wait, so what lens? Doing that's
wearing some water there. Just core of him, he wanted to make sure that we're wet. So, bottom line, I do think that I feel a little bit pressed to get things in early. Let's go in case we. Probably they couldn't rotate well. I feel like they realized that they were kind of drafting a little bit too greedily, and they weren't really enabling. Or take out the Timbersaw at all. So we'll have to see what Dogfights does on the Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit and Bounty Hunter are two very significant favorites of his, but Angela is going to be picking it, and Angela is the offlaner.
And we'll see if anything kicks off here at the start as well. They're heading down towards the bottom, the three of them, to join Old 11. No smokes, so it's just going to be red air in case IGV start to go for a fight themselves. I mean, overall, obviously the differences between these two drafts. In your mind, is there a draft that you do prefer? I mean, obviously coming into this game, we said IG.VITALITY, we're going to need to step it up. Is this the kind of lineup that they're going to be able to do that with?
I mean, I think that they absolutely are capable. They have a lot of kill potential with these heroes put in the right position. The mid lane should feel really pressed, and the Century game is going to be pretty interesting, but in July Bounty, I'm not sure is the pick. I feel like if you take the Bounty Hunter out and you look at the Slark, DP, Earth Spirit, and Witchlocke, that's a very capable lineup. You add in the Bounty Hunter, and all he does is really add gold to the picture. He adds the track gold. It could be potentially great, but only if they find catch out EHOME and really exploit positioning.
I mean, do you think there's I mean, are we going to see either teams respond to the lanes in terms of switching around? Like, is there any kind of matchup that there's a side that they really want to avoid here?
In this position, I feel like the Elder Titan needs to be able to rotate between the safe lane and the mid lane. So if they are feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the Bounty Hunter being in the offlane and being off the map so frequently, then they might try to dedicate the ET more so to the mid lane and just avoid that kind of null area in the jungle, this kind of demilitarized zone where you don't know what really lurks around the corner. I think the ET might have to stagnate a little bit, so they kind of divide their forces. The Disruptor supports one lane, the ET supports another, so that's a bit of a variation. But other than that, I think they're still going to stick to what we see here. The Slardar in the off lane and the Timbersaw in the safe. He's got some extra regen because, well, first of all, iceiceice always loves to go extra regen. He used to go like 12 tangos on Tidehunter. But in this case, he also knows that he's going to be pressured. I mean, that's the Earth Spirit Bounty. You're going to get some licks in. But yeah, I think that the biggest adjustment EHOME might make is their support movement, whether or not they stick to one lane or they start jumping between, and that comes down to how often they have something on the Bounty Hunter.
Getting some ready, but just waiting to see what goes on here. Obviously the Johnny games all played on the land, so there may be some issues. Technical details, and there we have it. Reconnection from Uno. We should hopefully be able to get this action underway here.
So I have a question for you. What in the world is this clothing piece supposed to actually contribute here? This guy lives underwater, and now he's got like a little thong. What is he? Tanning his beach bod? Like, what is this?
He's covering his privates.
I just feel like the guy is straight up naked, and then there's this flimsy little cloth on him that doesn't contribute anything.
How do you know it's flimsy? I mean, I'm looking at this. It's this is quite hardened material.
All right.
It could be some kind of steel hanging down.
Yeah. I mean,
rusted metal.
Yeah, it's just some kind of protection for combat. I'm sure you get the extra armor where you need it. All right.
It's got a nice blaze.
30
What's his
seconds
blaze?
to battle.
Sorrow. Genuine pale edge. Or gift from. It's a gift from someone as well. There you go. From one of his mates.
There's a lot of gifts for the pro players. Everybody wants to see their.
Oh, this guy
item.
plays a lot of Slug as well. Oh yeah, actually, there's got a lot. 938 leased enemies. I guess that's quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he's already got a lot of games on it just in the last month competitively, so I'm sure Clouds did.
Yeah, this was the hero that we just saw yesterday. Them stomp with, wasn't it? Right.
Yeah, so it's they played it in both games. They got stomped while
yes,
they had
that's
it,
right. Yeah, yeah.
and he got towered over a bunch of times, and then there was one game where he was able to just get his first couple items up, and he was able to do amazingly well. So that's what it comes down to for IGV, is finding a way to really make the most of the laning stage. It's going to be boots on the Earth Spirit or Venom on Bounty. That's a very important decision to make, essentially, is who's going to be more involved in getting those free hits in, and it's going to be in July. The Dogfights just wants to be in the right place at the right time. In July is the one who expects to want to get consecutive attacks. And is this going to be a chorus deck to start things off? What? You can't do that against a bounty hunter, old chicken.
He knew it was there as well, did he?
Not necessarily.
Seen it towards, but he knew he was going to be making a movement up towards the top. That was not the way they wanted to start. I still think they actually get a kill. They're bringing Dogfights low. Now, they have to be careful themselves. They're rolling back in, and it may be IGB who get the first hits. They'll take down out of time. They do lose in return. But yeah, EHOME looting the courier, giving away first blood mid lane. Not how they wanted to be this one.
Not at all. And there's a couple of key targets up there. The Stomp was actually really on point to get a guaranteed arrow on somebody, but the Earth Spirit moved in front to tank it so that the DP could just go in a full offensive, which is a critical decision there. They had to swap off the Disruptor due to kiting, but hitting the Earth Spirit thanks to Orb Venom, and yeah, really giving a point of leverage here. DP knows that now Chicken cannot hit his bottle anytime soon, and you wonder why they make that kind of mistake. The core bounty in the game. I mean, the one thing I can think of is that I see in July the bounty, and he'll just have to be top lane.
Yeah, they just think he's going to show it off. Hey, look at the lanes as well. Indeed, we've got down the spot lane. There's solo laning Earth Spirit against iceiceice's Timbersaw, and at the moment, just kind of trying to trade hits here with the man, but iceiceice is coming out on top in this lane with regards to the CS. So this could be interesting how this Spirit plays, because not often do we see Spirit in that solo lane position. And the top lane, that are actually going in as the crush comes down. Old Lemon's trying to get himself back, but IGV with 3 on him with the Maledict. He's almost certainly going to pop. One more, there we go. A second kill by IGV. And yeah, Bounty's rotation scores to me for EHOME, which is good, because as I was going to say, with the laning Earth Spirit, it's unlikely Dogfights is going to be able to catch anyone out with his rotations, because they'll know instantly that he's out of the lane.
So this is a very important lane swap they've made here. Obviously the prediction is like, okay, Earth Spirit's going to be the offlane, Bounty's going to be roaming and harassing, but they said, okay, we don't want to actually match up Yuno against the Timbersaw. So they go ahead, when iceiceice comes bottom, they bring Yuno and super top, and they just go ahead for a bit of an aggro try, which has paid off quite significantly. Now, it does hurt their safe lane. Dogfights have no chance of winning against Timbersaw here, but just going to the Tranquils, he's going to at least stay in and survive.
Yeah, look, the CS difference between Yuno and Old Eleven, it's double CS on the slot. Old Eleven just can't find anything at all in this lane.
So it's going to be a long time before he is able to get the Blink Dagger, which does kind of limit EHOME to go for only Stomp initiation and Glimpse and play.
We can see Old Lanham making his way down to still just level 1. Now he's level 2, that bounty. Certainly helping the man out. He's looking to make a movement down towards the bottom. And at the same time, top, in July, just scouting out the whereabouts of these two, but I know he's there with the sentry. I'm not going to try and make a jump on him as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, going Crush Kinetic, you definitely will get a lot of damage in, but it's not going to be enough to kill him, and they pretty much need to get a kill to disrupt his position on the lane. For now, though, he is burning through a lot of Shadow Walks at 65 mana cost as he's taking his toll, and yeah, he's just going to be visible for the time being, though he will be able to claim a Sentry Ward outside the pole.
That Ob's, unfortunately, just outside of that Sentry's range, so we'll be able to get the D-Ward.
Quite unfortunate. And probably a little bit intentional. This is, I mean, a decent ward block position, so you can put that touch on it, block the camp, and in this case, get the Sentry down at the very least. iceiceice doesn't have any whirling death. See, actually, he's not gone for 0-2-3, but Echo Tom's going to be there, and they're going to be able to nuke down dogfights in the end. With, it looks like a nice little immortal for the Marana.
Oh, yeah, he's got that new shiny item. That Immortal 2's one of these.
But look at the skill build. This is very interesting. 0-2-3-1. The 3 reactive armor is insanely good for diving, for trading hits. He's got 4-man shields on top of that, so really he just can't be killed, from my perspective, and July gonna sack himself the neutrals here. But it's gonna be nearly impossible to kill the Timbersaw, but he is gonna be lacking in the whirling death factor. I mean, he's only up against 1 strength hero, so you don't get the extra damage from the whirling death. But even still, it's a pretty big utility for getting the burst damage in.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting one from my side, guys. But I guess when you go for this kind of build, then do you expect to see him just remain in the lane and static farm because of the fact that he hasn't got that push from the Welling Death, or do you see him turning up to fight soon?
I think the fact is he's padded his armor and HP regen through this reactive armor. You might even get more aggressive because you're so tanky. It just means that you need a little bit more support. You don't go for the solo kill. So speaking of, we're gonna see an engagement up top here. Brains the Slaughter very low. Moonlight Shadow gonna be enough to get him away.
Yeah, glimpse back the slot. They'll say, the dark pack! Oh. I'm overall, they'll do one. Maybe, one will do.
Should have got down and just would have a 3 for 0. Because there was a hero on the mid lane. It's kind of did that. There's pretty much no other way that's going to happen other than a really good sacred arrow.
Top lane disruptor. And he's in a spot above it. They've got the shuriken as well. Oh, he's been arrowed. Oh, chicken. Saving the backside of Fenrir and picking up another kill for EHOME. This man's movements on the Marana doing a lot here. This stage of the game just 6 minutes in.
Yeah, it's a involved game right now. I think I need to start making his move for now. Just playing creep sort of from the act 2. And what you do is you actually intentionally right-click it to add a creep wave, and you clear reactive armor at this extremely high stack value. So he's intentionally aggroing creeps. This constantly pushes it out because the radiant creeps aren't thing. But now his durability can really be tested. They actually cancel his jump away with the cask, and they should be able to bring him down. He's got one more jump, but there's just too many heroes on him. If he had a TP, this would have been amazing because he would have been able to get out. But they're going to finally block him out, and despite the damage, Timbersaw will be going down. A level 7 hero split among 4 for experience.
I did take the break. He made them work as well. He had his chance of tearing down and keeping it for a little longer, but one of the trees in the high actually blocked his chain that he was looking to stay out of base.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you go for the play back past the tower unless you have a TP scroll. If you get a TP, then obviously he would have lived because he had the time for it. And in the meantime, mid lane, Sark a little bit too far forward. And yeah, just caught. Just straight up caught. That's a solo kill. Pearl Chicken, this guy is pulling out some amazing chain stunts. Like, just getting these skill shots off, getting unexpected hits where the Sark is going down where it shouldn't be. And we saw what happens when you know this comes in the early game.
Yeah, they may be able to punish him now, as they do catch him out with the silence, and the 3 of them, with that split, they have got the control. And the end of the day, Marana's still a relatively squishy hero. So, but yeah, a good kill nonetheless for RGV, as the Marana was having a pretty good start.
And free B for iceiceice.
In July.
Did he miss the chakram? He missed the chakram in July! Goes for the Roche deny, but you actually, this was a mistake. He stopped and hit it when he could have just walked past. If you walk past, there's no way that the Elder Titan's actually going to get that free hit in, and the Roche would have killed him off, but no, he stopped, and the Elder Titan gets a slap first. A little unfortunate there for the bounty hunter, but I mean, it seemed like it was a free kill anyways. It's just the chakram was slightly off the mark. iceiceice now pressured heavily. That durability once again tested, and his creep is on!
He may still, have they got protection? Yeah, they do. Sentry's down, alright, there, yeah. I mean, that crew was still there. I think he could have had a chance. The regen was at max stacks.
Indeed. So at this point, it's been iceiceice that actually is been giving the most away. He's got the top CS, and he's obviously put a lot of pressure here. He's kind of like playing Timbersaw like a broodmother to an extent. He's like creating space for his teammates and putting constant pressure on towers, which is cool with this whole wave cutting thing. But at the end of the day, he's given up 2 kills, and he's gonna be his bloodstone timing is not going to be that significant.
No, I mean at the moment, top of the network is his old chicken still on his mirror. Get taken down by that 4-man movement mid, but other than that, you know, he's found himself 5 kills, and he's been moving himself quite nicely ahead of the game. Top lane to the space 11, top 11, and as you can see, he's very close to picking up that blink dagger. So that'll be when we start to see the beast from the side of EHOME, and I just have to be a little careful about the bitch jumping from that.
Looks like we do have a bit of a disconnect.
Come
here.
on, China. There we go.
We're getting back into it. If it gets really bad, we'll go for more safe battle with it. But with Critter and try to bear through the Great Firewall and an athletic mini packet through at the moment. So, just thought still, like, I mean, he's going aggressive. He's going for this 0 or built to be mobile, durable, and to that Spider-Man. He's trying to essentially stop. As you and the he can take into account really what the enemy is going to try to be bringing, then you'll be able to just go so aggressive and so deep and force for heavy rotations, like 3 or 4 heroes responding, and still get out scot-free.
Interesting as well. Yeah, he Slider didn't go blink, went for the armlet.
Yeah, that is an interesting decision
He
because
saved up all the money.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like you're gonna do much with the helmet iron will or anything, anyways.
Yeah,
but,
I guess. Yeah.
But all the same, you make the point. Yeah, I definitely expected it to be blink, but they seem to feel that they have the initiation without it. You know, by the way, getting caught out, they're finding kills without him for sure. I mean, Slaughter has done absolutely nothing offensively this game, but the pickoffs have been real, especially when the Mirana is involved. I mean, he is already 6-1-1. Old Chicken, very comfortable on this hero. But all the same, I would have to say that the current situation, they feel like they're going to be able to initiate with the ET alone. And if it's Slaughter successful, Finlay's Travelers gives the Spirit a ton of movement speed. It should be almost guaranteed stop on 1 and potentially more. It's not going to be as quick of a jump, but still going to be really as active.
Let's see how heavy you want to go for pressure on the same still size. You said the kind of room of the playstyle, just sitting in the lane and putting the pressure on. They're rolling on mid. I'll give it a walk himself away in July. That's the bounce he will do. And will actually get caught out by the stomp. They're going to try and commit as well with the ultimate. They should find the bounty until they do. Can themselves anything more. They're for the man onto Old Chicken, walks himself away. Dogfights rolls in. Old Chicken can keep himself alive. He's trying for the TP out. Isn't going to make it though. As they do lose the Mirana turn. Oliver comes in with a whisk of scrub. Now he himself is in trouble. Is he looking?
He's armor toggling and he's going back in.
Oh, 3-man scrub. They want to do it. Kinetic field down. They've trapped him up. Old 11, he won't be able to live his way out of this one. But EHOME may be able to clean up as they find a double kill. Looks like the ghosts are causing a little bit too much of an issue though. And they're having to run this over, but again, the stomp, it doesn't matter. Disruptor will still go down. So, OP on the Death Prophet there, just securing that team fight win for EHOME, but only just, as EHOME did look to turn that one around.
Yeah, it did have a couple of major complications there, but I really like the moxie of Slaughter just going in like that. It definitely saw an opportunity, took it, and was able to do quite a bit with it, but still, DP's ultimate, obviously, a big breadwinner here is going to be able to do 2,000 damage and cinch them at least a few kills in that stem. Moving forward, you know, still trying to build up that Shadow Blade, not too far from it now, but we talked about it earlier, as if he's lacking that momentum and lacking that early income, he seems to struggle. We'll see if he can get a time where EHOME is still lacking detection control.
Let's see what I can do if they do this chase down and see Angelo. He's being spotted out by Slider. Mid lane, EHOME. Looking maybe set up to finish this tower off. Angelo's going to go for the
arrow from Old Chicken. Can they follow it up? Not going to go for the Earth Litter play. There's no other core here. It's just going to be a very, very nice looking skill shot. But I want to point out that they have some really good weaponry from Midland. They saw the Bounty Hunter moving towards the rift. They echo stomp of the Earth and they open up a good fight. no matter what IGV bring, like initiation like that, I'm gonna start with a kill and
IGV really makes it happen as they make the smoke movement. I mean, top lane 11, rather far out on his own. He's got to start to move back as he looks to be. He will be caught on IGV. So it's not like he'll have smoke.
Yeah, and we're for the newer no distribution build. Build the with just the 1 point providing the same exact HP per mana. I think he'll get out of this one, but it's a little hard for us to tell. He's getting a lot of hits and do pounce him down, and he is actually going to be falling here. So good stun, silence combo there from dogfights, just enough to cancel the super game. But yeah, I do feel like there's an immense amount of value in the blue restoration, but when you see an armlet, you can find so much value in the max maledict, and essentially the sword from disengaging and re-engaging. Really sort of the one that come to mind are Misery and Resolution.
Yes.
And what they do is, using the armlet and the blink dagger, they keep their HP full exactly where they want it. They disengage from the fight, and they just toggle on, and they just blink back in. It's not the first crush that kills you, it's the second one, when the starter walks out of the fight and jumps back in at the perfect time. And they can do this 3-4 times in a fight if they're allowed to do so. But something like Maledict, it's a long duration DOT based that does damage based on the damage received. So armlet and blink are not as effective.
They really want to punish all that. Coming in with the roll in. Needs about to back up to Mountain. Yeah, again commit. There's going to be turn. Oh, comes out from the outer Titan, and now IGV on the retreat. They've already lost the Earthquake. Chasing down as well. It won't be able to catch other bounces. So one, and again, IGV will be happy with it, and they may not be done. They're moving in, the sentry's down, they're going to get disrupted there.
Yeah, I'll watch what he does exactly, because that is a huge mistake from Yuno. Gonna get caught by the kinetic static, gonna be knocked down. One sentry ward, and you'll see it with the shadow dance that he buffed, that you're totally visible. That was a big misplay from Yuno. I think he is on tilt from how this game has been progressing for him.
Yeah, and as we sort of talked about the draft, just seeing how good the disruptor is. You said normally, yeah, he realizes he's being seen, but I've got a dark pack, but I'm going to save you when you get caught in the middle of the statics.
He has to play differently. He has to realize that EHOME has the economy to buy all these sentry wards. They already have the incentive with July's Bounty Hunter. You can't play that aggressively with the Shadow Blade, at least not when you don't have backup.
I'm just going to pop the ghost up here to find a tier 1. So if they're able to move in for more onto a tier 2. But they are starting to shape up nicely here at EHOME, and it is still very, very even on the grass. No one breaking hugely away. And in the jungle, well, if you just see that about to come around the sentry. And again, getting the vision, they know it's there, they'll coming back, can't seal the deal, yeah, but the 3 of them surround him.
Oh, don't get the crush here. He gets out of the kinetic and he just moves away. That track movement speed doing a lot for him. And the lack of blink hurting their initiation, but still not gets caught. There's another great arrow from Old Chicken. And the super now in their sights, unlikely to escape.
The top fights that come back into this. Somebody's already can save the Witch Doctor in there. Looks like it'll be enough. With the Witch Doctor will get himself out. 93-man static. Spirit will end up going down. What is there? They've lost 1 in return. Can you find anything out there? Pushing them, whether they should stick around and fight.
No, Senator's got 3 critical engagement, and that is most important one of them all.
Oh man, this maxed out natural order. You bring some back to the Elder Titan, they just melt to the burst that EHOME have. It's absolutely disgusting.
And if they can be killed, then it's got to be the MVP right now for EHOME is indeed Fenrir's Disruptor, because every single blend is perfectly on point. They have a sentry waiting target that gets them back inside a kinetic field, and there's just no hope. You got to be starting to look towards like KB rushes and stuff like that. In fact, sure, that's exactly what D pursue, and most hopefully the Slark as well. Yeah, they need BKBs because right now the Disruptor is just completely outplaying them.
Yeah, it's just this combination of heroes that are running is just looking very, very impressive. And in July. So I hope they don't throw down a sentry yet. So they're not a gem out on EHOME.
I feel like there's a smoke there that he broke because the spotter did try to go for a crush, but either way they'll reset with the mine, and yeah, the bounty will lurk in the shadows.
I mean, that's why that's because EHOME constantly getting more and more sentries down. There's at least 6 sentries out across the map at the moment. But as you said, a lot of incentive to do so.
Similarly, for just a pre-bomb here in the middle. It's going to be juke and invisible. Fenrir does not set.
They've placed a sentry that they picked, so I would catch him out of sweat. But in across the left, I do. He's going to head up. He's not going to get anything into.
I don't think you look for a fight. BKB. You are 1,500 away from the death profit up for the Slark, and yeah, I mean you push out a little bit when you can, but it's safe to do so. But you don't really look for the big engagements until later. But as I say that, they're not going together; they're getting picked up all to the side over. So I think it's much more positional. I think it's favoring home, the game favoring GV. The arm.
Yeah, it feels now that they're going to have blinks online. You know, blink on the Miranda, Slardar. He's got the money for his blink as well. It's going to be very, very scary for IGV to play around because we've seen how well the EHOME play as a team, and in these fights, just going from kill to kill to kill. Top lane though, old Lanham left on his own. He's not really out of this one.
Nope.
So he's back here as well to the side. Made work for it. He's going to fall. And this is you have to be careful. They do start getting the trick kills. The head and the guys get into that unstoppable territory. You know, to neutralize very well. You know, if he gets to a certain, it's going to be a very hard game for your opponents.
Yeah, it's definitely a critical mass here. I would absolutely say that the Slardar, Timbersaw, Mirana Tricore is not really going to be able to go to the late game against the Slark. Even though the Bounty Hunter isn't really a late game core either, he's allowing the Slark and the DP to get to the late game, and those two alone can outcarry the other 3.
Back here. And back towards them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just in the, they're still kind of going for the split push. Yeah, they're probably having by the time Timbersaw a whip team. We'll see when they do decide to bring the full force back together again and start to take for a fight. Or do you think they're more just kind of waiting for IGV to poke noses out?
Like, so far, yeah, seeing the Witch Doctor too far forward, they're like, okay, we'll take care of that. They pinged out the Bounty Hunter when he overstepped, and it's like, yeah, that's a good option. But now, I think that they do need to make a 5-man movement, and while their damage isn't great, amp damage does still make Roshan pretty easy. So I would expect them to, crowd around the pit, and if there's any sign of contest, then they'll right there, ready for the fight.
But he's going to be spotted out for the sentry. On the strike, another sentry as well.
Yeah, that'd be a freebie.
He is very deadly. They'll let it jumping in. And with the bounty hunter gone, hero advantage. They can get more. Trying to get themselves away. They're getting down on the slot.
They have the BKB.
Yeah, indeed. And from the BKB actually starting to turn and fight. Old Chicken caught out that side as well. Ghosts are out, and Old Chicken lifts himself away, will survive. See if they're going to lift anything more here. Looks like the rest will just disengage, so it does just sit as 1v1, 1-for-1. In a fight where Ism has been so deathborn, and I think, Magdalene as well was used, so a lot of stuff EHOME will be able to play around and get themselves back in the pit during the duration of these cooldowns.
Yeah, significant victory for Eating because of those cooldowns, as well as BKB being full staff and minimal losses for them as they trade 1-for-1. So, still, they'll immediately scribble around the pit. If it's time to take the Aegis, and I think the Slaughter will get charged there once they're all kind of regrouped. But, yeah, they still, again, kind of lack physical damage, so they have to be very methodical in how they take objectives. EHOME, they definitely have the kill potential, but taking it beyond that is going to take some intentional.
Let's see if EHOME want to go back in there. They're hanging around, but at the same time, so are IGV. They still feel that they can give them a pretty good fight, even without those ults. Things out onto iceiceice. The Moonlight Shadow as well to allow the back to come in. The question is it actually going to catch IGV off?
They are all caught up, clumped together. We're going to see a big jump here. First Spirit controlling that choke point extremely well, and they're going to be bursting down onto the disruptor to take him out before he can ulti.
Oh my goodness. 3 heroes down, a vibe used. Should it actually go this low? They're looking to get the heroes back in the fight. So, you know, getting low, but he gets the Shadow Dance off, will back away. Gonna continue to chase, move in, they want to find dogfights to stop. Will turn extra arrow. Is going to go to the mark. They've silenced up Older Chicken. He's going to go down as well. The fight continues to be messy. Sergeant Old Lanham eyeing up the bit. Can finish her off? She's incredibly speedy. Looks like she's juking around the tree line. There's a chase. Chakram. That will get them. That will get them. Ice on top. Oh, DP there with the Chakram play. But a very messy fight, and it did cost EHOME a buyback, so overall the numbers favoring IGV off the back that one.
Absolutely, I mean it is a massive gold swing going to IGV here, getting the Elder Titan buyback, and it just comes down to that one century where they see the Moonlight Shadow, and they immediately just drop it and get a concave. They were attacked from all directions. EHOME were approaching. They clumped Earth Spirit quite heavily. The cast was really good there too, and they just tear them apart. They didn't get away scot-free, but that was exactly that IGV needed.
Yeah, and one thing I forgot EHOME is the fact that they may have to break down his game, well they can do it at pretty reasonable timing. So this is going to be a big kind of booster back for them after coming out just slightly underneath the side of IGV on the back of that full team fight. Getting the Aegis on Old Chicken's Mirana, so they'll feel to be back in a bit more of a comfortable position, but as we said, they need to be careful of this slot. BKB has a lot of fight, and that picking up the people.
Alright.
It does get better.
He first beat the Ogre Club, but is going to be enough to go ahead and really try to go for hardcore offense. You see that he can once is that's not worth it. All I'm getting out of that is Essence Shift. I'm not actually going to be able to kill this guy. So now he's got the Silver Edge. Now he can mute the reactive armor and actually burst this guy down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We'll see if anything's actually found so far. Actually going to try to just take down the tier 1. Did a good job of it. We'll just goes for a kind of deny note down, but I suppose we get the tower. More money into the tip source and after City was careful, and now was playing Robert. He's looking like a player still. He's right up there, right with the slot and the Mirana.
Yeah, almost 200 lattice now. As long as Timbersaw has mana, he can always farm. Like you just like, oh, there's a junk cast 3 spells, it's gone. The mana problems are significant, but the Bloodstone is helping to mitigate that just a bit. Super tank.
Oh, that BKB! Easy absence from OP. All of their profit, stopping the initiation. That's what he got down. All left ticking down. All the rest of the will begin the retreat. With all their players, but I don't think they'll be too keen around for Let's see if they can catch down Dogfight. Connor alone. The Stomp won't connect on him. The Thunderstruck does hit him and takes down the Earth Spirit. So EHOME finding something in return. But at the end of the day, they are losing a core for a support. Maybe they'll find some more, they'll be happy. They're moving in.
I actually don't think the core versus support analogy is really that applicable here because of the fact that you've got a BKB exorcism.
That's true.
As long as you're burning BKBs down to 5, a relatively easy trade on a hero who doesn't need more farm this game.
And he's kind of far behind into the squad. It's not like he's top pack.
Yeah, like I consider this an offline slider that was played in or to say.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would actually say that that's a good trick because the BB and exorcism is coming into play there. But still a great reaction from the Death Prophet. That jump was quick, but his reaction was quick.
It's just a question to see whether EHOME can do anything with this again this timing where there is no exorcism up. Moonlight Shadow, maybe see if they can catch out, or Injulite, immediately TP out. Will make it. They don't get the vision to catch him out with a glimpse or any kind of cancel. But the creep wave starting to move around on the top, and EHOME may just try and pressure down this lane and see if they can take away the tier 2 from IGV. See what kind of response they get.
Now, the bottom room skirmish really was unfortunate for IGV because the mechanism came out just a moment too late with ET got ticked down. But you gotta realize how much burst potential comes out of this ET. When you get the double star storm with the natural order,
You're dead.
I mean, they don't have a fail, that was the only thing that would tip it over the edge, but they have so much burst damage, and Bounty Hunter can't hesitate. He's got to be in the right position, he's got to be very quick on the mechanism trigger, or the heads are going to roll.
Radiant's top tower.
They're going for a wrap around here. IGV smoking, trying to catch them off on the sidelines. We'll see what they do. There's already a sentry down, so EHOME are prepared for this. But a weapon is jumping in. Look at the two-man crush. Let's see what kind of follow they have. Fully loaded. The arrow connects onto the slug and they'll take it down to the ball already, and now moving in for more. OG's going to go for the TPL. Will he get? No, he gets backed up. It's quite a GP. The first one of Dogfight is going to fall. EHOME perfectly playing that. They were absolutely ready for that rapid and they absolutely crushed them.
Just massive. Quite literally with a brilliant crush to start that off. The E ball to the Marauder right on that was just picture perfect fight from EHOME, getting everything in the right place, and that could have been a dicey team fight. I feel like IGV, with the exorcism coming out early, could absolutely dominate fight, but EHOME had their vision, they had the prediction that was out of smoke, and
they knew it was going to come. They had the warning ready. They knew that they were going to move around this position, and they read exactly right. Absolutely, IGV defending their hands there.
Brilliant. And now, at this point, you see 18 Bloodstone charges right side to side, building up.
Yeah, pretty much got the money positions as well.
Yeah, heavy engagement here. The Donator giving, the Hood of Defiance giving him a lot of magic regen, but he goes plate mail into BKB.
Yeah, that's
to make that essentially just break silence is what I can consider. Like, you would usually go Yule Scepter for this, but because this comes from multiple sources, the DP and the Air Spirit, he just feels like all he wants to do is make sure he can cast the spells, and that's gonna obviously give him a lot of potential here.
I wonder if he can actually pop a Moonlight. I don't know what necessarily is we're going to achieve anything. The rest of the team is still the base.
Bounty rune cured, dude.
I mean,
come on.
The prize is mine.
It's 113 gold. It's absolutely worth the 90 or 100 gold then.
That's a little bit weird that. But anyway, EHOME back on the map. Now Roshan's still not up for a couple of minutes at least. But as we can see, from the net worth after that, that was kind of the biggest, most significant swing we've seen so far. Still, only for a clear lead at 32 minutes. It's not the end of the world at all for RG. But they've got to be careful again. As
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
always,
Has fallen.
The pretty much has the BKB complete. Move across the map is going to be just a force to be reckoned with, because you can't fight into that. Because, I mean, the Silver may be the dark, but at the bottom of the BKB, he can always Timber Chain away, and it's just not a target that you can really pin down. So, Timber is going to be nearly immortal for that 10-second duration. The rest of the team is going to be the ones that kind of have to balance their offense and defense, especially like the Marauder is in an interesting point. Rational Chicken went for the 10-second BKB, and he's going to go with Ethereal Blade next. So it's kind of like bouncing around. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage, but he realizes that he needs to cover his bases with this magic community.
Shadows take us.
Going on our here, Moonlight as well. Got spotted out, I think, if the things come through. You know, in the neighborhood, actually jumping forward. Aggressive movements here from the Marauder. They won't be able to follow it through though. EHOME will just build themselves in the mid lane and push onto the tier 2 mid. iceiceice picks up the recipe and heads the secret shop to get that Mystic Staff. So now having both the Shiva and the BKB done. I mean, as she said, he's pretty much doing teleport just with the fact that he got the BKB, but now you can't even dream of killing this guy.
Yeah. Now, for those wondering about the mechanic, Silver Edge will stop you from getting 2 stacks of your Romper, but you still keep the same ones for duration. So, since that last 20 seconds, as long as iceiceice continues to do what he's been doing, which is intentionally aggro inconsequential mist sources so that he can keep that stack up, But the red isn't going to be that much of a base builder.
Well, the 3D owners can manage to get the vision, dragging in the Spirit. Right back immediately, they're moving in with the BKB Death Prophet, the Exorcism as well, starting to chase down the starter, but he gets himself far enough away and can focus iceiceice. But as we talked about, it's a hard kill to get. He pops the BKB, Timber chains himself away, and he's going to be fine. Escapes the fight. Didn't do anything about initiating on the start. Harrison, the Death Prophet, iceiceice puts back in, burst on through, got one like Storm, and now be just slipping behind here. They're gonna leave the floor up by the stop. The burst damage from Marana. Olchkin fighting up a double kill. That's the slug there for 70 seconds. He did actually go all on the purchase for that Echo Saber, so still short on the gold for a buyback. And this is going to be incredibly rocky territory here for IGV. And it's just another fight where EHOME play really nicely around those BKB and the Exorcist. Come back in, they're diving tier 4s to kill off the Witch Doctor. The Death Prophet buys back, but there's no boost for 80 seconds. And this, I mean, just like that, this could be the borderline over for the side of IGV.
Fantastic gameplays, they always inception it out. They need to go deeper, and they do love diving in. They find the Witch Doctor, but the thing here is how well they were able to kind of space out the fight, reset it a bit, and then re-engage with the flank. They got the really good 3-man Echo Stomp from Lanham, and then iceiceice was hiding in the tree line, burst from the side, at the same time the run flinched in for a star zone, and they punched through the back line. They take down the support, and let the cores that are scattered to the wind.
We'll see. That's a response. Now to shove is fairly random. Oh, I know he's in July. Is he going to get a down for such? The Frost is silenced, but it doesn't matter. The Super's gone. Will take down the Bounty Hunter. And wicked sick for iceiceice now.
And it's just remarkable what he's been able to accomplish on this hero. I mean, I know that it's one of his most played heroes. Yeah,
they wouldn't want fight. He went to 5k, and after that as well, it's up to 20,000 lead, and that's without them even taking a Rax. Yeah. What a ridiculous fight for them to win. The amount that they gained from that one fight, that's crazy.
Yeah, they are really cementing their advantage further and further with these amazing engagements and getting these pretty much full wipes. The Earth Spirit did buy back as well, but yeah, that taxes them only so much by comparison to how much EHOME have gained. But yeah, the thing that really I loved was when iceiceice, he went into the tree line here, now it expires and he just jumps across. You can kind of just see the desiccated corpses of the trees that he cut through, because that's his full, like, perfect form of initiation at the exact time that Lanham and Old Chicken were ready to jump. I mean, there weren't even that many, like, really big things. They're communicating vocally that they want to go for these exact plays in these exact positions. They just have so much coordination in these situations, and it's really impressive to see.
And Roshan's back up. EHOME heading towards the pit, but at the same time they may want to try and find a fight first. They've come out with the Moonlight Shadow. IGB are backing up. Sorry, Olchkin has the haste rune. We'll see what they find. Starts to nibble, gets brushed down. Can they burst his mouth with Evil? They're trying for it, but no, in fact, Evans to be the first to he's going up from IGB. He has time. Still up to the high ground. iceiceice to top his own BKB. Fenris falling out low. You know, on the slant. Will do. Find himself a second. The Elder comes through, slams down onto the Death Prophet, and iceiceice, he's still funny healthy. Maybe already being used, but the heroes left. It's hard for them to do much about him. You can see Yuno's just trying to go for the kill. Takes things down. Old Lanham on the Elder Sign. Will find himself sometime with the York. In fact, the stop as well. Old Lanham's going to find Yuno's got to try and hard. iceiceice chasing him down, and there's nothing to stop him from closing up on, finally with this, he will be able to escape. So we're just seeing that iceiceice is absolutely killing out. And he may find more. Now Dogfights goes for the TP out. iceiceice, nothing to do in terms of cancelling it. So, I mean, as you can see, 2 for 1, and it's quite a sizable gold swing for that fight with that big, because of the fact that IG are so far behind in net worth.
And it's even the fact that they ran and speed away from iceiceice is quite telling, because although their base was under counter pressure, they were in a literal 3v1 situation. They're like, it's still too hard. They have to go into a wild goose chase. A couple of spells for the Earth Spirit and a lot of auto attack on the start. They realize that it's just not going to be enough. They reset, they back off, and this gives time for Roshan to free him.
Yeah, he was maybe dreaming of some kind of snipe, but he's got to run. Yeah, BKB, he's worried about being cleared back. Old Lemon jumps in, crush on the gold might have So what they can set up here on the side, July being burst down by Old Chicken, and EHOME they want to try and find more. Old Chicken's actually popped the BKB. We'll see if that's going to be able to close the gap. Eyes on the dogfight. The Shield Skull will catch him. They move forward. They should be able to snap back in a second, and they will indeed. EHOME finding 2, and now they'll begin pushing onto the base with Old 11 holding this Aegis. And IGV left to defend with only 3, and still 20 seconds without Exorcism available.
Yeah, brilliant execution here from EHOME, closing this one out with style. And IGV, remember, this is pretty much a tournament life. If they're going to be able to contest the tiebreakers into the 5th slot for the playoff, they needed a win over EHOME, they needed a win over VGR, and the first and foremost will not be coming, as we do see EHOME walking all over. They've taken the mid-racks, and now if they can just take one more lane, they should be gearing back.
In July, just getting nuked down immediately by the Evelyn Marana combination. iceiceice, silence the Maledict onto it, but he does not care. They just cannot kill this man. He's an absolute knight on the tip. So as expected as well coming into it. Getting him as Tristan iceiceice on the tip. And yeah, starting to cut, it'll take us away. But that's about it. The owner remaining on the ground. BKB is off the field. Move back for that. Head down the start R1. Looking towards iceiceice. But then BKB pops as well. The sweep onto Yuno. He's got to back up on this slot. There's a lot of them jumping in with the crush. E-Blade nuke down onto the Witch Doctor. They'll lose a second. They're going to find the Death Prophet as well. They do not care. EHOME is just moving in for more. Yuno falls back to the base. Cut the back into the air of Spirit's face. Double kill for this Beyond God like Timbersaw. And EHOME, they're looking to move just potentially for balls. Now, let's not get to play it, so they'll go for the seconds of the round. Doesn't easy to be caught yet, but it's very close to feeling that way as EHOME, again, just with these team fights, takes so much from IGV. And look, this slide is getting bursted down immediately. Elder Titan Aura. I mean, this hero, I've said it so many times, it's absolutely disgusting. You've got the right combination of heroes, that natural order and a good bit of burst. You know, you're killing down arguably isn't the most farm stock in the world, but it's still a relatively strong looking one at 41 minutes in. And EHOME, they're just destroying RG at this stage with a net worth leader reaching 35,000.
Yeah, and it's hard to actually say who will contribute the most out of this. iceiceice, of course, commits to that little bit. Just this chain play, he wanted to chain Suicide so he could fly across the map. But at least he's right back in with the BOTs. But it's really hard to say who is the MVP because their Old Chicken had so many great arrows.
I'd probably have to go for it because of the arrows he did get in the early episode.
And that just gave him so much momentum. Of course, iceiceice had this very unique style that created all this space in the enemy's safe lane. And then, of course, he was able to do so much in the team fight later on thanks to Lanham. They really, as a team, as a unit, were able to do so much here. And I gotta say that I can't wait to see what these guys bring to the playoffs.
No, it's really strong stuff. Absolutely. And as you said, just fighting the aims because this match did mean a lot for IGV. But see for them, this defense is not going to be successful. That's the creeps to come. And GG is for EHOME. You want to take the victory and continue to build. And they're very healthy spot now in the regional qualifiers. They now stand 6 wins and 2 losses, which I guess certainly on the way it's going is going to put them right up kind of the second spot next to IG and just below Wings Gaming. So a very, very big good win for EHOME. And as you said, for IG.VITALITY, the road starts to look a bit sketchy now. They're in kind of the danger zone.
Absolutely. VG Gaming is right on their heels. We're looking at being almost to win the first direct invite to TI through round robin group stage. Then we have to be looking at Invictus Gaming, VG Reborn, and EHOME are all pretty much secured the playoff slot. I would actually say that at this point it's impossible for them to lose those slots thanks to the win for EHOME. And there, IGV and VG are the two that are going to be battling it out for that last slot. So we'll see how that all pans out, how it shapes down, and get you guys an update for that as when we go into our next game, which I believe should be the VGR IGV match. I'll switch over the camera so you can see our ugly mugs once more as we transition out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in here to the Beyond the Summit hub for the International 6 qualifier of the Chinese region. It's been EHOME versus IGE, and it's been some incredible Dota here. Thanks once again for tuning in to BTS5. If you enjoyed the commentary, of course, look to follow us at BlazeCasting, at ODPickle on Twitter, and we will see you guys for the next game here in just a few minutes. Thanks.